Your Money, Your Life, Controlled by You podcast with your hosts Ashley Gowans and Jackie Hendricks. Are you tired of feeling like you're losing control? We will use our knowledge and our experience to help you gain confidence in your ability to create a secure financial future and live the life that you desire.
Come on in, sit on down, lend us an ear. Welcome to Your Money, Your Life, Controlled by You podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Goins.
And I'm your host, Jackie Hendricks, and we're here to share our passion, and that is helping you get your financial foundation or your financial house in order.
Absolutely. Jackie, for people to understand where our passion comes from, I think it's important for them to understand where we came from and how this industry has changed our lives.
I totally agree with you. Yes, it's very important for people to understand where we've come from and why we're here and what motivates us. This is about creating a relationship basically with our clients and helping people to understand how we were raised. Our background and our experiences are all what comes into play. It is what makes us who we are. It fuels our passion and our purpose. And, you know, the ability to share with others is such a great opportunity. Ashley, how about you sharing with us your background?
Okay. Well, I grew up here in rural Virginia. I have to slow that down because it likes to roll together. But just like many others, I watched my parents punch a clock and go to work every single day. It didn't matter if they didn't feel good, if they were hurt and aching, or if they had an accident and had a cast on their leg or whatever. They still punched that clock every single day. I do have one sister. And my parents, I can honestly say, provided for us to the best of their knowledge with what they were taught as they were growing up. So fast forward a little bit, we'll skip over all the, terrible twos and terrific threes. We'll go to the loving teenager years. Like most teenagers, I decided to take a left turn when I should have probably turned right. I found myself pregnant at 17, senior year of high school. And I was like, I am going to make sure that my child has a better life than I had, even though it was a great life. So let's fast forward a little bit more. We're going to skip over a little details. But in 2002, I married my best friend. And I found myself pregnant with my second child. And I was doing just like I had seen my parents do, go and punch a clock every single day. Well, I've done everything from law enforcement to the corporate world. And I found out at that time, law enforcement wasn't for me because it forced me to be somebody that I'm not. The retail and corporate world wasn't it for me because there wasn't enough work life and home life balance. When I left law enforcement and re-entered the retail world, I found myself working 70, 80 hours a week, coming home to sleep, eat, and shower, missing events with my family, or having to tell my kids, sorry, I can't come to that. So from that point, I had an opportunity presented to me, and it was truly life-changing. It allowed me to take my passion for helping people that was discovered while I was in the retail world, with facilitating fundraisers for the local community. But it allowed me to take my passion from that and apply it to helping the community at a new level. So, Jackie, at this point, I find that it was an opportunity of a lifetime. And I was able to have that balance that I was so missing with my previous careers. When you find that balance, Jackie, you know this, and you're able to have a passion behind why you do what you do, then it's nothing in this world that can stop you. So, Jackie, I've shared a little bit about myself. And, I think it's very important for them not just to know about me, but I think they need to know about you and where you came from and your backstory.
Well, very similar backstory. I grew up in a working class family. My father was a military career, and my mom always worked from as little as I can remember. She'd always worked. So from the get-go, I was taught the value of hard work and integrity and, putting in your time. My dad was fond of saying, a hard day's work is a hard day's pay. And then as I grew older, I had my family, I got involved in my community. I started learning more, and the mantra kind of changed at a point. It was work smarter, not harder. And then as the years went on, it changed again, and it was make your money work for you. Instead of me working for the dollar, having the company that I work for determine my worth, I started learning how to set my own pace, set my own level, set my own worth. But, I had worked in retail for a while, and I even had one company. We were in a big push to get this project done, and we were working 60 to 80 hours a week, weeks on end, only to be told when it was done and over that our hours be cut down to 15 to 20 a week. So I realized I had really no control. I was at the whim of my company as to how many hours I could actually work. So I was limited on what I could do with my finances. I had no control there, and I had no control on my hours. So that kind of inspired the entrepreneurial spirit. If I could work that long and put in those hours for somebody else, I certainly could do it for myself.
Absolutely.
But as life would have it, things happen. And I was involved in a real bad accident that took me down. I saw firsthand how, when you're a 2-income family dropping down to 1 income, how that can affect the whole family, your lifestyle, your finances. And it was hard, but it gave me great compassion to understand, to see that other side, how people go through things. And it's one thing to be prepared. It's another thing not to be prepared when something like that happens. And so that's where my passion started coming in, is I could help people who were in similar situations.
Right.
And I actually even, I was so bad off, I had people tell me that, I should just take disability and get on with my life. And I'm like, well, I don't do that. I don't care how much I'm hurting. I've got a brain, I can put it to work. So,
and you're stubborn, right?
And I am stubborn a little bit, just a smidge. Don't ask my family, they'll tell you otherwise. But it was, at that point, I realized I needed to do something else. And lo and behold, a friend who I'd known for a number of years said, hey, I'm doing this, come talk to me. And actually at first I was a little hesitant because it was a big step getting back into the working world. But then she shared this opportunity with me, and it was exactly what I was looking for, that I could put my experiences, what I've done with my life, how I've overcome situations, how I've learned to prepare, and be able to help others do the same. And like you said, I've been I've done all kinds of jobs, done all kinds of things in my life, but this is where I really felt I needed to be to help others.
Absolutely. And Jackie, I just want to thank you for sharing that with our listeners, because, a lot of people need to understand that we're not people that don't understand where they come from. We've
Right.
been there. We've got the t-shirt, you've got some mugs. So
I do.
but I think it's very important for them to understand that. And like you were talking about your passion, our passion comes from different sides to a certain aspect.
Right.
I've had experiences that you haven't, just like you've had experiences that I haven't. But when we first started talking about this podcast and we started sharing our experiences with each other, it became a very cohesive passion,
Correct.
even though we have our separate passions, because people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So the passion, go ahead.
That's one of the things that we really did notice, is that there is a deficit where people don't have the knowledge to make educated decisions about their future and their finances. And this is where we started really coming together and saying, how can we help people understand there are other options out there? There are options they've never even heard of, but we can help them see different ways that they can do something. There's more than one way to build a house. You can have a prefab, you can have a log home, you could have, a stick built home, whatever, or a masonry block. There are different ways of doing things. And that's where we come into play, because we have studied, we know our industry, we know how to help people.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing for me is what makes us different from all of the others that are in a similar or the same industry is we're not going to sugarcoat anything.
No, not at all.
We're going to tell you the good, we're going to tell you the bad, and we're going to tell you the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for somebody that's going to sugarcoat things and tell you what you want to hear, we're not that group of people.
No. But and that's something we do. We're very honest about it. We're not looking out for our own personal interests. We're looking out how we can best help you to get where you want to go with your financial goals.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, you look at our personal family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I am a grandmother, I am also an aunt and a sister. I don't know if I said sister here, but so I've seen the differences in what families can go through. Like you said, my mom, she's on hospice.
Mm-hmm.
Sister had brain surgery. My grandson is a preemie. My granddaughter is a rainbow baby. So those things can actually take a huge hit on a family if you don't have the knowledge of what options you have at your disposal.
Absolutely. And, I'm all those things you are, but I'm not a grandmother per se. I am a grandmother to four-legged beings, which is okay. But, even in my situation where family members have had to take care of their mothers or their fathers, and seeing, all right, we've got a husband and wife who are working and their mother lives with them. My mother did that with my brother and his wife, and they had to adjust their schedules to be able to take care of her. And even in something simple as that, yes, we love taking care of our loved ones, but that does take a toll. And it's a matter of being prepared for whatever may come our way, whatever happens. When life throws us a curveball and we're hitting the potholes, we got to know how to move around them and navigate these things for the betterment of ourselves and our families.
I couldn't agree with you more. We actually find ourselves starting at the basics, because if you don't know how to build a structured budget, then you don't know how to plan for the future.
Correct. It all starts with that foundation. And we believe that, and I know a lot of people think a budget is a bad word, and just stick with us, but because we're going to show you different techniques, different styles, different plans that you can use and personalize to what's going to fit yours, because your budget's going to be different than my budget. So we can customize it, but show people how creating this foundation is going to serve us for a lifetime. Just like writing down your goals. A budget is your financial goals. We're at that time of the year where everybody talks about goals. Let's set goals for the next year. One of the first things you should be doing is setting your financial goals by writing a budget or creating a budget for yourself. Now, remember, this is not set in stone. A budget tends to be fluid, but there are certain key components you want in there. So stay tuned or join us on our next podcast and learn all about budgeting and how we can help you, at least with the first step of setting up your financial foundation.
And Jackie, the thing on the budgeting that I just wanted to add is budgeting is not a fad. It's not going to go away.
That's a good point.
So you've got to have that structure, and that's what we're here to help do. So guys and gals, thank you for joining us on the intro to meet us and understand why we're here and where we came from. And Jackie, I greatly appreciate you and you joining in with us like you're going to do every single week.
Well, and I appreciate you too. This is going to be fun. Hopefully we're not going to be monotone or boring. But remember, this is going to be a process. We're going to learn a lot with each different episode. So stay with us. Be sure and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It doesn't matter where you are in life at this moment. We're here to help. If you are a college student, just starting your career or your family, even a seasoned CEO, and everything in between, helping educate you and putting customized plans and strategies in place is our specialty. Giving you the ability to control your finances now and prepare for a strong financial future. Don't miss our next episode, where we will discuss budgeting. Click the link in our bio to learn more about how we can help you get started on securing your financial future. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Click subscribe to get notifications of what's coming next.